Good evening. Welcome to South Asian Newsline. I'm Swati Kundra. Here are the top stories we are tracking for you on Wednesday, the 30th of September. Indian court awards death sentences to 5 convicts in 2006 Mumbai train blast. Afghan forces battle for control of northern Kunduz from Taliban. And Indian Navy inducts largest indigenously built warship. And now for all the details. An Indian court on Wednesday sentenced 5 men to death for planting bombs on Mumbai's local trains in July 2006, which killed 189 people and left over 800 injured. 7 of the 12 men convicted for the train blast were given life term.
A special court in Western Mumbai pronounced the quantum of sentence to those convicted for planning the blast that ripped through Mumbai commuter trains in 2006. The Maharashtra Control of Organised Crime Act Court awarded death to 5 men accused of planting the bombs. 7 others, including key conspirators, were given life sentences. Relatives of blast victims hailed the verdict. The incident happened in July 2006 when 7 blasts ripped through first-class compartment on Mumbai's local trains within 11 minutes during peak hours. The bombs were kept in pressure cookers and were placed in trains on the Western Line. According to police, 15 people accused in the case are still missing. Police had named 5 Pakistani nationals and members of terror group Lashkar-e-Taiba in their charge sheet.
Moving on to news from Afghanistan, where the Afghan army is continuing its battle against Taliban forces to recapture northern Kunduz from insurgents. The strategically important city fell to Taliban, stoking fears that the country is headed for an uncertain future.
Heavy fighting continued for the second day on Wednesday in northern Afghanistan, even as the government claimed that the army had made significant progress against the Taliban. The US also launched airstrikes in the province to safeguard the coalition mission in Kunduz. Afghan Chief Executive Officer Abdullah, who was in the US, cut short his visit following the fall of the city to the Taliban forces. Addressing the nation on Tuesday, Afghan President Ashraf Ghani called for calm and assured that the city would be recaptured by government forces.
من میخوایم به تمام وطنداران اطمینان بدم که قندوز تحت مدیریت است. از این جهت ضرورت ایجاد یک وحشت که هدف اصلی دشمن و ایجاد ترس است ما باید راه ندهیم.
He also accused the Taliban of targeting unarmed civilians. The capture of Kunduz is the biggest success for the Taliban since it was ousted from power in 2001. The Taliban, which has regrouped following the NATO troops' withdrawal, has been stepping up attacks ever since it launched its spring-summer offensive in April.
Delhi and Mumbai could be the biggest metro cities in India, but a comparative study has shown that they are some of the cheapest to live anywhere in the world. Our report.
A Swiss bank report has ranked New Delhi and Mumbai among the cheapest cities of the world to live. Among the 71 locations compared around the world, other cheap cities on the list are Sofia in Bulgaria, Prague in the Czech Republic, Bucharest in Romania, and Kyiv in Ukraine. Experts agree with the findings of the report and attribute it to the various macroeconomic factors.
Largely due to the depreciation of the rupee against the dollar. It may be noted that in the last 3 years, Indian rupee has depreciated almost by 30% against the dollar, and this is despite the high inflation with which India has been struggling.
Meanwhile, Mumbai ranks higher than New Delhi on Purchasing Power Index. Experts believe that this is due to multiple job options available in the financial capital of the country.
It's an industrial hub, and it's last 4 generations of the workforce have had varied employment opportunities. Bombay also gives you you need not depend only on one job, you can do so many other jobs. So alternatives are very high. It's like 10% of industrial employment of our country is provided by Mumbai alone.
Mumbai and New Delhi have also ranked among the cities with the lowest average wages. The reports has collated the prices of a standardized basket of 122 goods and services which were compared across 71 world cities. Nidhi Rai, South Asia Newsline, Mumbai.
The deterioration of environment through depletion of resources and destruction of ecosystems is causing serious problem in Gilgit-Baltistan. Despite several reminders, Pakistan government has failed to prevent deforestation, leading to frequent floods in the region.
People of Gilgit-Baltistan haven't come to terms with the destruction caused by massive floods in July. But they know for sure this is not the end. The region has been hit by frequent floods due to deforestation, and environmental pollution is contributing substantially to global warming.
वक्त के साथ-साथ मौसमी तब्दीलियों की वजह से माहौलियाती आलूदगी में इजाफा हुआ और खुसूसन सैलाब की तबाहकारियों से जहां जंगल और दरख्त मुतासर हुए वहां फिर गर्मी की शिद्दत में इजाफा हुआ और गर्मी की शिद्दत से बर्फ़ पिघलने लगा और बर्फ़ से फिर एक सैलाबी कैफियत पैदा हो गई और जिससे दरियाओं में तूफ़ानी आ गई.
Corrupt officials are hand in glove with influential timber smugglers who continue to exploit the rich forests of Gilgit-Baltistan, leading to the collapse of the ecosystem. Adding to the problem is the sudden rise in the number of vehicles.
उसके साथ-साथ गिलगित बल्तिस्तान में जो ट्रांसपोर्ट है, ट्रांसपोर्ट में गैर मामूली इजाफे की वजह से भी माहौलियाती आलूदगी में इजाफा हुआ है.
Gilgit-Baltistan was illegally annexed by Pakistan 6 decades ago. Since then, successive governments have paid little attention to the pressing problems. And at the receiving end are locals who bear the brunt of natural disasters.
India on Wednesday inducted its latest warship INS Kochi to its Navy fleet. The indigenously built stealth-guided missile destroyer is the largest and the deadliest Indian warship.
India's most advanced naval warship INS Kochi was commissioned by Defence Minister Manohar Parrikar at the Naval Dockyard in Mumbai on Wednesday. The INS Kochi incorporates new design concepts for improved survivability, stealth, seakeeping and maneuverability. It is also packed with an array of state-of-the-art weapons, including the long-range BrahMos surface-to-surface missile. The latest in the Indian Navy's fleet is one of the few warships of the world and the second in the Indian Navy to have multi-function surveillance and threat alert radar to provide target data to long-range surface-to-air missile system.
The ship has got stealth features in the sense that it will be very difficult for the enemy to detect this vessel because of the capabilities, stealth capabilities which it has. The ship has got a variety of weapon systems like the super rapid gun mount, the BrahMos missiles, the Barak 8 surface-to-air missile and the integrated rocket launcher and also the twin torpedo launchers.
The INS Kochi, which is also the largest warship built in India till date, is designed to achieve speeds in excess of 30 knots.
India pushes for an early membership in the Asia-Pacific Economic Cooperation during a meeting with various world powers to strengthen cooperation.
India's Foreign Minister Sushma Swaraj met her Japanese counterpart Fumio Kishida and US Secretary of State John Kerry in the first ever India-US-Japan trilateral meeting in New York on Tuesday. The meeting focused on strategic, political, economic and security interests among the three nations. In the meeting, Swaraj pushed for early membership for India in the Asia-Pacific Economic Cooperation or APEC.
We see a strong connect between our discussions today and India's Act East policy. It is in this strategic context that India seeks an early membership of APEC. I would like to work with both of you for India's early membership of APEC.
The three countries called for cooperation on maritime security and disaster response in the Indo-Pacific region. In a separate event, Swaraj also hosted leaders of BRICS nation on the sidelines of the 70th session of the UN General Assembly, where she reaffirmed the need for comprehensive reform of the United Nations, including its Security Council, to make it more representative and efficient.
Moving on to some news from Nepal, as protests by the ethnic Madheshi community against the newly adopted constitution show no signs of slowing down, the government has agreed to talk to the protesters in a bid to resolve the crisis. The The country has been witnessing strong protests ever since the adoption of new charter earlier this month.
Rattled by protests by the Madhesi ethnic community against the adoption of new constitution, Nepal's main political parties have agreed to talk to them to address their grievances. The shrinking supply of essential goods from neighbouring India due to the ongoing protests has hit Nepal badly. The landlocked Himalayan nation is heavily dependent on India for supply of commodities and fuel.
We are heading towards some good result because government has formed a team from 3 political parties to talk to the agitating party, and I think there will be a solution very soon.
The ethnic community, which makes up 22% of Nepal's population, opposes the new constitution which sought the division of the Terai region into 2 federal provinces. They fear that the lesser political presence under the proportionate representation system could marginalize them.
Pakistan is hosting the Bangladesh women's cricket team for a full bilateral series. Bangladesh became the second country after Zimbabwe to tour Pakistan after major international teams chose not to tour the country in nearly 6 years.
The visiting Bangladesh women cricket team began a bilateral series against Pakistan with a 2020 match. Bangladesh women's team is the second to play in Pakistan recently after Zimbabwe national cricket team visited the country in May for a shorter version of cricket.
Thank you. Bangladesh team ke ডাকার জন্য আর পাকিস্তানের আশেপাশে অনেক ভালো লাগছে মানে অনেক ভালো লাগছে আসলে যে আমরা আমাদের রিসিপশন এখানে থাকার ব্যবস্থা মানে সবকিছু মিলে আসলে অনেক সুন্দর লাগছে এখানে আমাদের এসে
The Pakistani girls were more than excited to play in their backyard after a long time.
ऐसे की बात हम डेफिनेटली बहुत ज़्यादा खुश भी हैं और एक्साइटेड भी हैं कि अपने मुल्क में खेल रहे हैं हमारे लोगों को पहली दफ़ा हमें देखने का मौका मिलेगा.
Major international cricket teams have stayed away from Pakistan since 2009 when the visiting Sri Lankan team came under militant attack in which 8 people were killed and several others injured.
It has already created a lot of curiosity among cine fans. As it is set to release this weekend, Talwar delves into real-life events and promises to tell the untold stories. Take a look.
4 लोग थे, 2 जिंदा हैं और 2 डेड.
A sensational double murder case that rocked the entire nation in 2008. A directorial venture of Meghna Gulzar, Talwar is based on real-life incidents and aims to give a sneak peek into one of India's most controversial murder cases.
ये लड़की माफी मांग रही है अपने डैडी से कि डैडी गलती हो गई आगे से नहीं करूंगी.
The cast and crew of Talwar talked about the film in a recent promotional event in the entertainment capital Mumbai.
Somehow there is a lack of closure in spite of everything, in spite of all the time that has gone by. And I think it's to explore those unanswered questions. Why is there that lack of closure?
Talwar is a murder mystery in which several investigations have led up to various conclusions. As different versions of conclusions come out, the case becomes more than complicated.
I hope justice is done.
Everybody has the responsibility to go beyond the headlines and do their own homework and then come to their own conclusion. We shouldn't let the headlines form your opinion, because that's what human beings are. They should be able to see their own truth.
मैंने अपनी बेटी को नहीं मारा है.
Talwar is a story about hysteria revolving around the murder of a 14-year-old girl in her apartment in which her parents are the main accused. Their domestic help was also found murdered on the same night. Even as the parents make all efforts to plead their innocence, the law takes its own course. Has the law delivered justice is what Talwar seeks to explore.
Enough of it. You're off this case with immediate effect.
Well, that's the way it was in South Asia this evening. Before we conclude, the top stories once again. Indian court awards death sentences to 5 convicts in 2006 Mumbai train blast. Afghan forces battle for control of northern Kunduz from Taliban. And Indian Navy inducts largest indigenously built warship. Now our viewers can watch the show on southasiannewsline.com. You can also visit us on facebook.com/AsAsiaNewsline and follow us on Twitter @AsAsiaNewsline. That's all in tonight's edition. We will see you same time tomorrow. Good night.